Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 130. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to continue the No List arc by talking about going out in the wild. Now hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What's going down?
Whole ton is going down. We're going to continue the new arc of the No List by talking about experiences that we've had going from the kitchen table out to other people's kitchen tables and beyond. But first, we have to thank our generous sponsor, face-to-facegames.com. They are Canada's biggest Magic store.
Very much so. Two things. I liked when you said going out into the wild. I was envisioning like not showering and hairy armpits and wearing plaid with like the buttons undone so my hairy chest sticks out and like chopping trees down.
You had me up until plaid, and then you totally lost me at hairy chest.
Definitely don't have a hairy chest. I'm not the I do have like strawberry blonde hair, but I'm not the Viking variety of red hair.
Where you have like a tuft of
like shoulder hair,
like chest hair,
shoulder hair, like my cousin who is literally a Viking.
Like he pillages and has a big beard.
Okay, well, he does have a big beard, and he is a giant.
He's offended by that new WWE tag team.
Oh yeah, no, Vikings don't get offended.
The reissue of War Machine. I'm still pissed about that.
Oh yeah, they like changed their name 3 times.
Yeah.
Second thing. Face-to-facegames.com. I just put an order in for a whole ton of foils for Zada.
She spent like $4.
Yeah, more or less. A bunch of comments. Some of them are expensive now. Like there's an invasion foil named Chaotic Strike. It's like $25. It's just an uncommon from Invasion, but it's a red cantrip from like a 20-year-old set.
Yeah, I have regular. Do I have a foil of that? I think I might actually.
Dude, I'm all in on it at not $20 or $25.
I might have one. I'll look when I get home.
Okay, that sounds like a CCO bro trade. Ish.
What?
I just made it up. But hey, get this too. So I'm talking with the face-to-face management team, make them sound all official and stuff, right? They said that a bunch of the warehouse people for Face listen. So big shout out to them for pulling orders, for pulling my order in particular. You can throw some extra special stuff in there. I would not mind. But they said that they see when people make orders and say Ryan and Brando from CCO sent us. So thanks to everybody who has been going to face. It really helps out, makes them know that, their sponsorship to us is working, I guess.
Yeah. So thank you all for taking the time to maybe switch websites or use an additional website when you are accruing cards for your decks.
Jump ship. Nix your old website. Balls them. Face-to-face games are nothing. Did I do it right?
I think so.
That's probably what they want me to say. That's our new tagline. Hey, balls them. Face-to-face or nothing. That's what we're doing.
Balls to face-to-face.
Wait, no.
Don't Google that.
Dude, that is a real don't Google.
Yeah, dude.
Moving on. What do we got here? We've got some no patron shoutouts this week. Seems like July is like a terrible month for that.
It's summer. Summer's expensive, dude. Like,
yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Looking into it, like I did a little bit of research, and it seems like content creators across the board, not just in Magic too. Like, if you're making a podcast or have a YouTube channel, July and December, apparently those are the worst months.
Yeah, it's because everybody who's listening to us right now is listening to us at the beach.
Oh,
because they're on holidays and they got to the beach because it's summer and people just want to go out and do summer shit, not just pay attention to what we're doing.
Like,
and if you're listening
like drinking
to us,
beer.
Yeah, and if you're listening to us anywhere, thanks for sticking with us as you enjoy your summer holiday.
Have a beer for me. If you're drinking beer right now, have a sip right now. I'll just take a minute. Oh yeah, there you go.
There it is, yeah. And if you're just opening a beer, like a bottle of it, you got to open it with your eye socket. For me, I'll give you a minute.
I met my wife the night that I did that, and I had a black eye.
That's what I was hoping you were going to go into. Yes,
and I got punched by a different girl. Not my wife, a different girl. And I had like another, not black eye, but like very big red kind of fish-shaped mark on my other eye. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you think about Ryan being from PA and we joke about it, that's the kind of stuff that happens.
It's funny, like people from Saskatoon or surrounding area or PA or locals, I should say, know what that is. Like that's Prince Albert is the name of the city that I'm from, and it's like, I don't know, it's not super ghetto, but it's like Ghetto's the wrong word, though.
It has a federal prison in the middle of it instead of a downtown.
Well, the prison is like on the side. We're talking to people in the land of the free, dude. Like they've got more prisons than schools, don't they?
I'm not sure, but are they in the middle of like the third biggest city of their states? I don't know.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
There's like a 7-Eleven across
I know,
the
like
street.
100 and some years ago, like the government of Saskatchewan gave Prince Albert the option, like the penitentiary or the university, and they were like, "Well, the penitentiary is going to secure more jobs, like short term. It's going to create like 100 jobs right fucking now." And
Good
now,
on you, PA.
yeah, now Saskatoon's the biggest city in the province because it has a gigantic veterinary university.
Yeah.
The biggest one in the country. Good job, PA. Yeah, now people get punched in their eyes by girls when they meet their wife.
Yes.
Thanks.
We are not a matrimonial podcast or a veterinary school size podcast
That's right.
or a civil engineering podcast, which would be CCO.
There still is, yeah, it's still CCO, and there is a civil engineering department in the College of Engineering at the University of Saskatchewan.
Got there.
Got there. I was wondering if you'd get there. So what have we got today?
We have a Kess deck giveaway that we should probably remind everybody about.
Good catch.
And if you want to be entered to win said fabulous sealed Kess deck, which everybody wants, I'm sure.
Hot dog bun foiled bent in half Kess.
That's right. And if you live in Canada, we'll include an actual hot dog in the bun because we can't send.
Yeah, if you live in
meat over.
Canada, it's
If-
700 degrees, so it's going to be humid.
And it'll smell great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only by request, though. So you get entered in to win that by heading over to Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a good review and a great comment. Or you can head over to our new YouTube content as it comes out. We got some videos in the wings that are going to be coming out soon. You can desecrate the like button's ancestors.
That's what they did last week.
Is that what they did last week? No, they ate liver with fava beans last week.
Oh, then it was gross. Then it was 2 weeks ago.
I just like desecrate the like button's ancestors. Okay, give the like button to Cleveland Steamer, and you can Google that if you want. I'm not afraid. You get entered to win that. Leave us a comment there. We always appreciate that. We also have a $25 credit from face-to-facegames.com. You get entered to win that by going over to Face-to-Face, telling them Ryan and Brando sent you, comment on our episodes, make an account, whatever. We'll get you entered in to win that as well.
I don't know if you need an account to make a comment, but you need an account to have the store credit deposited. So make an account, leave us a comment, get you $25.
Which is it's any two good foils from M20.
I guess so, yeah.
That's something. It's not nothing. Also, if you are a new to following us on is that a thing? New to following us?
Yeah, it's a thing.
If you want to become a follower of ours on social media, head over to CCOPodcast or CCO Brando on Twitter or tappedout.net. You can find us on Facebook, anywhere podcasts are found. Check out the full list either in the show notes down below or at our official home on the entire internet, CommanderCookout.com. And once you've hit 1,000 followers on either the official CCO Twitter handle and or the official CCO Facebook page, we're gonna do merch.
Very much so. We've been getting ideas from some of the patrons, kind of what they think is good. We have had, of course, suggestions for, I'm just going to throw this out there just because it was suggested, and everybody can let us know on Twitter or Facebook what they like. T-shirts again, potentially with nicknames.
Shirts are cool, yeah.
So if you're a patron and you have a nickname, there's a possibility that you should get your nickname on your sleeve.
Ooh.
The technology exists, people. Hats. We've had local suggestions and patron suggestions for hats.
Hats are cool, yeah.
Like a custom. We've got stickers with the logo, but like custom art stickers. Sure. Play mats, which is kind of my favorite thing because like the sky's the limit with those, and I was really wanting to like number them and sign them in gold, make them look all mighty.
I actually bought a gold marker and a silver marker to take with me to Vegas. Just
Really?
in case. I'm not assuming I'm going to have to sign anything, but on the off chance I get to, I want to be ready.
You know, I had those already, right?
Now I have one. What if we're separated? What if somebody jockle hopses us and we go down two sides of the river?
Yeah, you know what we need? We need those little leashes like that have backpacks attached to them.
Oh.
Like I'll hold the back, but that'll look weird actually.
yeah,
that'll
that'd be strange.
that'll be a little bit too kinky.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyways, we're doing merch when we hit 1,000 followers on our two main platforms.
Twitter and Facebook.
That's it, for sure. And I guess YouTube is going to maybe be where we show all that off because you can see merch when we get there, right?
Yes.
You can't see merch on podcast.
Now, we can tell you all about it and paint that mental picture, but I'll just show you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So now, what are we talking about today?
One more cleanup step thing. So, was it 3 weeks ago? 2 or 3 weeks ago, we gave away the Dark.
The whole Dark.
And our winner didn't get back to us.
Which is discouraging a little bit because that's like the best prize we've ever given away.
Yeah, we've never given away a prize. We were both really excited about it. And rather than just, I don't know, sit on it or whatever, it's already packaged.
Sit on it and crush it into dust like a cam grill in a pickle jar. You'll know what we're talking about if you watch the pre-show.
Yes. It's a teaser.
I love when they tease.
So we figured rather than just keep this box with cards in it, we're going to give it to somebody else. And we made a draw on the way up here today. And who is our new winner, Ryan?
It's ironic. I went through the comments, and the winner, EDH Player Guy.
Gets the air horn.
Yeah, I suppose that is like appropriate that he is EDH Player Guy and listens to our show.
Hooray! So yeah, EDH Player Guy, get a hold of us, please. We want to give this prize away. It's really cool, and we want somebody to have it. So we'll ship it off to you. Get at us on either CCOPodcast, CCOBrando, or CommanderCookout@gmail.com.
Now let's talk about what the hell we're actually talking about. Jesus.
That was a long one. It was a long road to hoe, is what that was, right?
That's what she said.
So what we're talking about today is when we started playing Commander, as I'm sure a lot of you guys did, you started out playing with your friends at your kitchen table or wherever you physically played at.
Yeah.
And then you eventually kind of branched out and moved to other places. Now, once we started playing, there was a couple other groups in town, but no really organized play for us. So I hit in with another couple of groups, and it never really caught on that much just because of scheduling. So I just kind of played with you guys for the first few years.
Yeah. And
then my first really major outside experience was when we went to Vegas. It was the first time that I played with lots and lots of new people.
Well, we played, like, you played at F&Ms and stuff before you played EDH.
Oh yeah, like I played F&M for years, but I never played EDH out in public.
Okay. So you've outlined step 1, 2, and 3 with the introduction to Magic with your friends and learning to play, transitioning to F&M style events, maybe pre-releases fit into this as well.
Yeah.
And then going to big events.
Correct.
So we wanted to tackle kind of the transition or the kind of stuff that you'll face or have to do when you make those jumps, those level ups, I guess.
Yeah, like if you're a newer player, just learning to play, maybe you're sick of your friends. You're sick of seeing those same 10 decks all the time. You want to go play with some new people. They have EDH down at the local game store. You're going to go check it out. What are you going to go in there expecting? What do you think you should have in your brain on your way there?
Well, even before that, like, okay, so you've learned how to play, maybe you and your friend taught you, so your friend knows more about Magic than you. You're the noob. He invites you to come play in his play group, their play group, I should say. I think before we even go to F&M, we've got to remember that the most important thing when going to play with anybody is just to be yourself.
Correct.
Like your friend invited you to come play with their friends. They obviously already like you or are okay with you coming to play with them.
They know something about you.
Yeah, and if you're like your friend, which you probably are because you're friends, they're probably going to like you the way that you are because that's how your friend likes you.
Yeah.
And I think it's important just to go be yourself and play. And when I say don't try too hard, I don't mean like don't try to be their friend too hard. What I mean is don't try and meta too hard. Don't try and like outthink them too hard because you don't know what they are used to playing against. And don't try and politic them too hard. Just play the table, right?
Play the game you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't mean don't try and win. It's just don't be an asshole.
It just means don't try and trick or get anybody. Just be yourself and play the game instead of trying to like metagame. And you see like, oh, our classic example is you're sitting across the table from your friend's friend that you don't know and they're playing Zur and you just are like, oh, I got to kill that Zur player. Well, no, it could be Sea Monster Tribal Zur. Just play the table. You see sea monsters? If you do, well, then you know it's Sea Monster Tribal Zur.
Yeah.
Right? Don't assume, I guess.
Yeah, like when you see a guy playing Kess, and he says, "No, don't worry, it's not Stormcast." And
It's the Commander Cookout Precon that I won for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, for taking a shit on the like button.
And then they play the Paradox engine, and then you're like,
Oh.
well, I see that you're a liar, and then you kill them.
And a banned card player? Maybe they're into that.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Hey,
yeah,
that's a
it's
thing
banned
that
now.
maybe you got to, like, ask, right? Is there any house rules? That's the thing that you got to house rules and house bans or unbans.
Yeah, like at our house, I guess. I play Grimlock.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
a
think
silver bordered card.
Yeah, it's a silver bordered card, not technically legal, and we don't play Mizzix.
Yeah, I would like to play Mizzix, but I feel like it would just be the same thing as Animar, except maybe slower, or the same thing as Rakdos, Lord of Riots, but faster.
Yeah, we did.
So it's like,
we played him one night, I think, and in one of the games, I think it was FU banned Blue Sun Zenith for 10 by paying 3 times in the same turn, and it's just like, no, we're not doing that
it's
anymore.
not the environment that we're trying to foster. So I think when you go into a new play group, that's kind of the jive that you have to feel out, or the questions you have to ask is, what are we playing? Is it just fun? And that goes back to like the new Rule 0 for Commander that was introduced a few months ago, where it's like, sit down, communication is key. I hear you do it every single game that you go and sit down at EDH&M.
I do.
I think king of the segue. I got this. So when you go to EDH&M and you enact Rule 0, or you say, you sit down, like, what are we playing? Like, this is the next step after you've kind of got the in with the play group, but you want to go out into the wild.
Yeah, like, what are we doing today? And I don't know if there's any enforcement of Rule 0, even though it's technically an official rule, where you sit down and be like, okay, what are we doing today?
Yeah, you can't call a judge and say, Judge, I want to play my jank whatever Screaming Bald Guy's Tribal, like Command Zone, but he wants to play Urza High Lord High Artificer. Like, that's not allowed. Like, you can't enforce Rule 0.
Yeah, I don't know how you get around it. Like, if a guy just lies to you.
Oh,
Nah, it's totally casual.
yeah. Triggered.
Right? Like,
God damn it.
But so go in assuming that people aren't going to be dicks, and then just
Yeah, you know what? I think once you are familiar enough with how to interact kind of on a social level with people in your play group, like, that gives you a good foundation to go out and interact socially with people at F&M. So if you are sitting down and you say, hey, what are we playing today? Like, how powerful of the decks are we going? And you've got you with jank whatever, somebody with jank whatever, somebody with jank whatever, and then somebody with Lord High Artificer Urza, and he's like, oh yeah, no, it's just jank Urza.
no such thing.
This is how you politic 3 jank players. You say, okay, he's playing Urza, no such thing as jank Urza, because it's like an oops, I win deck.
Yeah.
Let's kill him, right? Like, you just set the tone. Sure, you can play that, but...
Yeah, we'll just gang up on you and beat you to death.
And then we'll have a real game, and you can go play in another game where you just, like, lie to somebody, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or just switch decks so we can all have a good time and we don't have to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, most of at least in our FNMs, we're not really playing for prizes, so there's no reason to go out there and try and scumbag people.
Oh, first ever new promo prize pack got given out yesterday at our EDH night. I think that the store gave them out to, like, the drafters and, like, the people that were there playing, like, from paying money to play.
Right.
Because EDH&M is free. He just did a draw of, like, the whatever it was, 16 players that were there. 16 players.
It's growing. It's
growing every week, yeah.
The first one was 5 people.
Yeah.
And now in, like, 3 months, it's up to...
Not even 3 months.
Not even 3, like 2 months.
You know what?
It's been good.
I guess that's one of the questions I want to ask when you go out to EDH&M or a similar event, like EDH night at your local game store. We just call it EDH&M because it's EDH Night Magic. It could be any night of the week, I guess. What to expect? Should you expect, like, 5 players or 16 or, like, 25 players? Probably varies.
It probably varies depending on how big the city you're in and
how many decks you bring. If there's 5 players, 15 players, or 25 players, how many decks?
I always bring 4.
Always bring 4?
Always bring 4.
That's a lot of decks.
I bring a deck in case somebody's trying to scumbag people around the room.
Yeah.
I make sure that I can out scumbag most people that play in town here, I think.
That's good.
So I bring that just in case. And then I have a couple of like mid-range, powerful, but not, I don't think, broken decks. And then one thing that I'm tuning, and it's just a piece of crap.
Yeah, something that's already tuned, and then something that you're really just working on.
Yeah, like I brought Coin Flip Tribal with the Ardoon and Zackle Flap or whatever his name is. Just to, and then I ended up getting like the best draw and just flexed on the whole table. I was like,
no.
Shit.
Sorry,
God
everybody.
Damn it, yeah.
Okay, so we a little bit touched on what to expect and what to do when you kind of just show up, be yourself, cordial, all that jazz.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, I guess don't be a dick. I just wanted to say it too for emphasis.
It's the golden rule of life. It's not that do unto other. No, just don't be an asshole.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into is the etiquette of don't be a dick. Oh, speaking of etiquette, can we say like wear deodorant?
Yeah, clean yourself. You're in very close quarters with a lot of people. The room is going to be warm because it's
Most
lots
likely.
of people sitting in close contact with one another. It can be uncomfortable for some people just being close to other people in the first place. Don't compound that by smelling like a dirty, wet fart.
And you know what? This isn't to shame anybody, and a lot of people are not as familiar with what I'm going to say professional hygiene entails, but that is splashing water on your face, that is rubbing or spraying deodorant on your underarmpits. What do we call them? Armpits. And that is maybe wearing socks. I don't know. Maybe I just don't like feet.
Yeah, I think that might just be a you thing. I think it's okay to not wear socks.
It's like, what about wearing socks and sandals like it's 1992
Oh,
again?
just never do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
What if we do CCO socks for merch?
Then you wear them.
Yes.
And then wear them and take your shoes off if you want to show them off. But don't wear them with sandals because I'll make fun of you.
Yeah, you know what? Lots of close quarters. Here's the thing. If it might be your first time going out into the wild and you're a little bit nervous, you get that nervous sweat.
That's the smelly sweat.
That's the smelly sweat. Maybe you just want to put deodorant. You know what I have in my magic bag currently, my event bag? I've got hand sanitizer because we shake lots of hands and high five lots of people, and we touch the same shit that thousands of other people at events touch.
Like all of the money in our pockets, which is the grossest thing. And every doorknob on
I don't have any money in my pocket.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking
At
about.
events, I try and bring some, so I don't have to pay with a debit card like I'm some kind of...
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, you know what? Doorknobs and like the glass showcases and just cards and binder pages. So hand sanitizer. I have like some like chapstick because like those air-conditioned event halls get super dry.
And dry out.
Yeah. And I drink lots when I go to events, so I'm always dehydrated. So my lips get dry. And I'm going to have a little travel-sized stick of deodorant. Because even I stink. Like, everybody thinks it's natural for your body to produce pheromones and sweat. Like, that's totally normal.
Yeah, I have a lot of hair on my head, and it does make me hot, and so my head does sweat. So I try and not smell bad. I bring deodorant, too, and I bring mints.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Mints are like gum?
Yeah, I don't chew gum, but yeah, mints or gum, just breath is a thing. Just
fine.
Yeah, and we're not trying, again, what Ryan says, we're not trying to shame you if you're a dirty little urchin. Just...
It sounded like shaming.
That was 100% shaming. That absolutely was.
I'm so confused. What are we trying to do?
We're not trying to actually shame, like, oh, I smell bad, I shouldn't go. It's just something to be aware of. I'm not saying if you smell bad, don't go, but just...
Yeah,
take steps that you can to avoid situations that are terrible.
I have definitely gone when I smell bad.
Yeah, I've definitely, like, being at EDH now, I've definitely been there sitting, like, in the middle of all these people, and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot to put deodorant on before I left the house. Oh my god, I can't do it during this game. People are going to see me. And I know it's there. I know it's happening. I know the guy sitting next to me is like, wow, Brando.
This guy stinks.
Wow.
I'm not going to listen to his podcast because he's smelly.
Exactly. He's got a little bead of sweat running down the side of my head. It's like making a little dirt track because I was just out in the garden weeding and I forgot to wash my face. Like
one clean spot on your head is from when you were sweating.
Yeah.
Gross.
So we've all been there. But
yeah, we're going to start a revolution. The deodorant revolution.
Yeah. Cleanliness Cookout Podcast.
Oh my god. CCO Podcast. We got there.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that is great.
We're terrible.
So, okay, we've gone to new play groups. We were being ourselves and being friendly, cordial, playing the table. We went out into the wild and played at an EDH&M with deodorant on. And we rule zeroed it up so we all were playing the same decks, same power level of decks. What about when we go to a big event? We touched on kind of the hygiene aspect of it. It's a great idea to have hand sanitizer.
That's actually even more important at big events.
Yeah, very much. You're touching things like when I go to Vegas and I touch something that somebody from Boston touched, like I've never gotten a strain of the cold from Boston. What if it's terrible for me, from where I live?
Yeah, we're from Canada. We only have viruses that live in the air like 3 months of the year, and then we have the flu.
Oh, no, but we also now have, due to global warming, we have viruses that were under the ice in the Arctic for thousands of years, like on X-Files. We were catching those viruses now, FYI.
And they don't kill us, but they might kill you.
Yeah, so if you don't have hand sanitizer and you lick the same binder page that I lick because we both like cheap Zatafoils from Invasion that are actually $25, then you could get one of those like alien viruses from the permafrost.
Yeah. And do you want that? Nobody wants that.
No, I do want to lick that Zatafoil, though. I'll just squirt the hand sanitizer on it first.
Yeah, first.
I am
of course,
from
first.
PA.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I'm just drinking hand sanitizer
put some
off,
onto
off of a Kess bent in half cardboard hot dog bun.
And then you put the rest into your Slurpee. And
Oh, yeah, that's a real thing. Like, you can't... you got to get, like, Listerine and stuff from behind the counter at pharmacies and stuff from because, like, people buy it and drink it or, like, spread it onto bread.
Good Lord.
And get drunk off of it. Yeah, that's real life.
Yep.
You'd have no germs in your mouth, though.
That's true. You would have... Now you probably wouldn't have good smelling breath still. Probably.
No.
Yeah, your life probably is still.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're at that point in your life, I hope you find help soon.
So we're at this big event.
Big event.
Licking binder pages.
Hell yeah.
What do we expect when we sit down to play? Do we expect the same play experience?
When I go out from kitchen table to somebody else's table to EDH&M to big event, I just kind of behave the exact same way. I just make less dirty jokes the higher I go.
Oh.
Up to a certain point. And then once I'm on a name basis with everybody I'm at the table with, then I kind of let fly a little more just to see what we get. But I think it's all a matter in how you present yourself. And I think you just have to be a little bit more, maybe not cautious interpersonally at these events, but you do have to take a little bit more care with the mechanics of the game, in that you have to know more how cards work and you can take less casual shortcuts.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. You got to watch out if you have altars in your deck. You got to know that there are no house rules
like
at these big events.
Altered art cards, not like Phyrexian altar or Ashnod's altar.
Yes, even though those will get you beat up too.
Yeah, actually they will.
Yeah. You just have to be careful, like if you're playing an all altered deck or whatever, you got to sometimes you have to show it to a judge. Like you couldn't play Animar in Vegas because it's got too many altars in it.
That's right. In sanctioned events, and before every event that I have decks that have altars in them, I just tell people, and I even go as far as like shuffling my deck and setting it face down so the tops of the sleeves are facing the player, and say I've got altars in the deck. Look, they're flat, very high quality. You can actually contact me to paint them. Just to show them that like they're not marked cards. You can't tell that the altars are in a sleeve. Like you can't tell. But that is a thing that you have to go through the motions of if you have that, or if you we joke about it, but if you do have that foil bent in half Commander 17 Kess, like she is bent in half. Like there's a reason that you could play with those as proxies in legacy events because they're actually bent, but you do have to get permission from the judge.
You do have to watch out for that stuff.
That is I guess another great thing that you can expect at these big events is there are judges there. And maybe you're lucky and your EDH&M night does have a judge. Like we've got Byron. Shout out to Byron.
Yep. He's always keeping us on the straight and narrow, and I'm sure that's not... Sometimes I view Byron as like the big kind of burly father figure, and it's all these little like big head chibi cartoon versions of us running around and we're all hitting each other with like play mats with pubes on them, and we're like punching each other and pulling each other's hair and shit,
and Byron walks over, fum, fum. What are you kids doing?
Exactly.
Play nice.
Yeah.
Very
that's
much
how I
so.
picture him.
If you've ever been to an event and you need a judge in an EDH side event, scheduled event, competitive event, all you have to do is raise your hand and say judge, loud enough so they can hear you. and you just kind of wave and they walk over and you ask a question. And there was a time like years and years ago where you would kind of get like judge shamed for calling a judge, where it was like you're trying to angle shoot somebody, you're trying to be secretive, or you're trying to like get some kind of competitive edge or tell on somebody to get them a warning or a game loss for calling a judge. And it was like taboo, right?
Well, also make sure you're not doing that. Never do that.
I think the culture has
I think it's shifted.
changed enough that like you call a judge to help you resolve situations.
And in EDH, you're going to run into
I ran into
crazy
one
shit.
last night.
Do tell.
Okay, so I have a Mesmeric Orb.
You're a bad person.
Mesmeric Orb says whenever a player untaps something, they have to mill a card. And you, of course, when you untap during your untap step, you just like mill everything. But no player receives priority during the untap step. So the Mesmeric Orb mill abilities go onto the stack during your upkeep when a player receives priority. And in the ruling for Mesmeric Orb, it says that, and it also says that if you have anything else that triggers at the beginning of your upkeep, you can choose what order to put the abilities on the stack in. So I didn't have anything that said at the beginning of my upkeep, but I did have an ability that I could activate before I milled. So I had to ask Byron, can I still respond to those triggers, or do they just move from my upkeep step or my untap to my upkeep? And because I don't have any at the beginning of my upkeep abilities, I can't respond to it. And he goes, no, whenever something is put onto the stack, it is respondable in regular ways that you have to respond. Active player, non-active player, and then you resolve the stack in the appropriate order. So he resolved my issue. Everybody was fine with it. I explained that I talked to Byron. He said that I could crack my Expo map to search for my Cabal coffer, so I didn't mill it. And then I played it, and I would have won the next turn, but then I died. So the judges are there for your help. And believe it or not, they play EDH too, not just Evil, Legacy, and Modern. And they actually talk to you lots about, like, playing Commander. What do you play? Oh, that's a cool altar. I play this deck. We should jam a game after, right?
Yeah, lots of the judges I've met actually are super cool.
I played
at
one of the
wild
funnest
events.
one of the funnest games this year that I played was with a judge from Ontario. I think I told this story after when we did our Calgary recap. He Mindslaver locked me out of the game when we were the last two players, and that was my funnest game of the year. Just because he was a cool, fun guy.
It's fun to play with, yeah.
Yeah. So these are like good people. You should actually use them when you're at big events.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying call one just to meet them, but I mean, make a when they're walking you over to the table, or if you say hi, they're cool. They're cool people.
Make a point to meet them. Yeah. I think is
there's nothing
one of
wrong
the things
with
that you should do.
You're not sucking up to them for preferential treatment if there's an issue. You're not being a bad person. They're there to interact with you. They're just people. I don't even know if they're paid to be there. Are they?
They are given
maybe at a certain level they're paid.
They're given like a lump sum. And from that lump sum, this is how it was explained to me. They're given a lump sum. Then from that sum, they are required to get themselves to the event, room, hotel, board, whatever, food, right? So a lot of the times, judges from a common area will go in together on a hotel room, Airbnb, or whatever for the weekend so they can split their costs, kind of like what we do with CCO House.
Yeah.
And they just travel around to different events, and lots of them, when you can go to an event every single weekend, like lots of judges can make, I don't want to say like a good living, sorry judges, but you can definitely like eat and travel and see the country as a judge. So these people are kind of living their dream, and it would behoove you to talk to people that are as passionate about magic as these people are, that are like dedicating their life to traveling so people can play magic.
It's pretty cool.
That's important. I think.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, we kind of do that with the podcast.
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Yeah, but these are great people. You should 100% utilize them, meet them, find out where they're from, and see if they can. Maybe even talking to a judge, you get like a little bit of an insight on, you know, how to tweak your deck or how to play your deck a little bit more efficiently. Because newsflash, they know all of the rules of Magic. They're pretty good players.
Yeah, or maybe like I had, you'll get a super sweet full art foil bug token.
Oh
yeah,
that's a real thing.
That was a thing that happened too. Don't expect that ever to happen though. That's only happened once, and
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's the exception, not the rule.
Okay, I think that at big events, you have the highest probability of running into a difficult situation.
Yes.
With your play group, your personal kitchen table play group, you're all pretty familiar.
Yeah, you can, and we've done this.
And you talk to each other like friends,
you
right?
You can fight it out. Like, we've had some fairly heated arguments around our table. Like, all of us are, because we're friends and we're going to come through it. We're going to finish the game and then be buddies again.
That's right.
Right? Like, it's a thing. But once you move into other levels where it's with strangers, especially like a big event where people are, maybe there's stakes.
Yeah. Well,
some people take these things way too seriously.
Yeah. If you run into difficult situations or players at your EDH game night, EDH&M, I mean, maybe the store has a policy or a house rule. Maybe you have access to a judge. Maybe somebody else knows that person and are going to be like, okay, dude, it's fine. Calm down. Or he's new. It's fine. Right?
Yeah.
And help you out because you're all community members in your own little city or whatever, right?
Yeah, you don't need that kind of tension inside a small room that we talked about. It's so small you have to bring deodorant with you. Yeah. Don't bring drama in there. It smells way worse.
Yeah, that's it. At a big event, yeah, there's stakes. There's different levels of power in decks. There's different expectations from what you're going to get out of these decks or out of the experience. Of course, call judges to resolve any in-game things or if somebody is, cheating or whatever. But you sit down and somebody's playing Urza and I'm playing Lord of Tressorhorn. It's like, these are different things. How do I resolve that when they're like, nope, I play Commander because I'm the best. I just whatever, right?
I just want to flex on noobs.
Yeah. And we touched on ganging up on that guy. What about just going and playing your own game with people that are casual? What about making a sign that says casual EDH? What about just playing theme decks? Not theme decks in like or precons.
Yeah.
You sit down and just say, hey, we're playing a precon game. Do you have a precon? No? Okay, then beat it, Urza.
Yeah,
right?
Get the fuck out of here.
So there's all kinds of things. You just got to be a little bit creative. And if you can't resolve something, then you just really need to talk it out. And communication is key. We talk about that lots in our, like in the CCO Discord about sitting down saying, hey, like we can't compete with that. We don't have the money for the mana rocks, or we're too new to know how to fight the intricacies of your deck. Can you either teach us? Can you tone it down? Can you, like, we know that it's the best deck. Can you throw us a bone? Maybe you start at 30 life. There's all kinds of rules that you can kind of stipulate.
Sure.
And it just goes towards making it fun for everybody. I think that's what the goal is, right?
Yeah, I mean, the goal of EDH is supposed to be fun. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is a hot take, but I feel like the fact that Rule 0 exists is an indication that says that there is a big enough portion of the EDH community that don't want to have goddamn fun. They want to win.
Yes, but
that rule exists, that people are just ignoring it, and they're going to lie to you, and they're going to play all this crap, and it's on us. It's on the rest of us to not let that taint our experience when we go to big events.
Very much so. And you know what? The new philosophy document that came out with the bannings, I think we're going to touch on the philosophy document next week a little bit. It does outline that players are supposed to care about other people's play experience. And I think if we all look at going to big events through that lens, we shouldn't have to talk about like, hey, don't play your Urza, I'm playing Lord of Tressorhorn. We should just be like, oh, you're playing Lord of Tressorhorn? I want to play my fun deck. Because then we can have a real game, but still play with cards that are not expensive, not hard to get, and that are unique and give us that unique, fun gameplay experience that we used to talk about a whole ton on the show. We've kind of gone away from that, but I think the core of CCO Nation is still people that want to have fun, unique gameplay experiences.
If you want to flex and play foils and rare cards and just cream all over your seat, just play Modern.
Yeah.
Just
F you, Joel.
Yeah, like just there are already formats for that. There's Vintage, there's Legacy, there's Modern, there's even Standard to an extent.
I suppose. Yeah, your $60 Teferi time Hero of Dominaria guy.
Yeah, like if you want to do that crap, then do it. But I mean, maybe running game on Commander tables isn't where you should be.
Unless you are sitting down at the CEDH table. Then it's like fine.
Then do it up, yeah.
That for sure has its place at big events as well. And at EDH&Ms, like we just have to communicate about that, right?
Yeah.
I actually super like it. I like CEDH. I like to talk about it and think about it more than get played against it, right? Like, especially when people lie to me. But I think we're going to talk a little bit about that next week.
Yeah, I think we are.
I got some notes and some plans on that kind of stuff. But again, communication is key at all levels of gameplay, whether it's your kitchen table all the way up to playing at an event.
Yes, that is true. And one thing that I think we all need to keep in mind when you go to these events, we're talking about Rule 0 earlier, power level, making sure everybody's kind of on the same page at the beginning of the game. It's important that you understand not just the power level of decks in general, but that the strongest deck in your playgroup might not necessarily be the strongest one in ours.
Ah, yes.
And that's
very important.
When I went to my first couple of EDH&Ms, I sat down with some guys, and they were like, this is my strongest deck, it's my best deck, it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be some shit.
That's what we're doing.
So I pulled slivers out, and I just fucked these guys, like, hard.
Yeah.
And they, like, not because my deck is so good, but, like, it was so much more powerful than their most powerful stuff. And I learned after a couple of games of just rolling them, I was like, okay, shit. And that was maybe my bad, but they said this is my best stuff. This is my most powerful stuff. So
you don't really have a way to know that, right?
Yeah, like you gotta.
There's no like formula that you can plug your deck into on tapped out and it'll spit out like, sure, they tried that casual or competitive like meter for a while, but that doesn't tell us anything, right? You can't plug your feather deck in and know that it's like an 8 out of 10 power level or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't plug Zata in to find out that it's a 10. It might be a 10 in my playgroup, but compared to Grixis CEDH Doomsday Kess, like, ooh, it might be a 7 compared to that deck.
Yeah, like, and what's a 10 out of 10 Zata really mean? Is it a 10 out of 10 in the power level, or is it a 10 out of 10 for Zata? And then where does Zata go into? Like, it's all relative. So you got to kind of go in like, is this a combo deck? Do you win on turn 4? Is this an aggro deck that attacks with 1/1s for 1,000 turns? Like what? Like what makes your deck powerful?
Yeah, you got to ask some questions. You can't just say how competitive is your deck.
Yeah, don't try and angle shoot people like what are the cards in your deck? Are you stored? Like don't do that. But I mean, most people are going to be willing to say like if somebody asks me, "What are you playing?" "Oh, I see you're playing Angry Omnath."
I think this is how you do it. You say, "Hey, what's your commander?" Automatically, if they don't tell you, you know that you're playing a CDH player. Right?
Yeah, immediately just bust out your stuff. Yeah.
They're going to tell you. They're probably going to tell you. Oh, I see you're playing Angry Omnath. Do you play like Landfall? Is it Elemental Tribal? Tell me about your deck. Is it all foiled out? Like just get to know the player because remember, this is the social format.
Yeah.
You can be social and just ask. Like as Magic players, we're probably interested in other people's cards because they're probably still Magic cards.
Yeah,
right?
you're not like you don't need to grill them, but just be aware that could be a thing. It's integral to your enjoyment of your night when you go to play Magic.
Ooh, that's the tweetable.
Yeah, you got to know that stuff and figuring it out and sussing it out while still being social and making friends it's important.
I definitely like that. The last few minutes in my mind have kind of sounded negative, and I don't want the show to have any negative connotations because I love our Tuesday night get-togethers. It's sad to me. Like I'm disappointed when anybody misses.
Yeah, me
right?
too.
Like when somebody comes down the stairs at Smitty's, it's like, oh fuck, who's it gonna be, right? Or when somebody comes up the stairs at your house, who is it? And it's like it's Clayton or it's Evan or it's whoever. It's right, and that's fun. Then we go to EDH&M's at the store. It's like, holy crap! Look, there's 16 people. There's 4 pods of 4 last night. We played Plane Chase.
That's awesome.
We played like hour and a half long plane chase game and we couldn't roll off the plane. Like it's fun. And when we go to big events, it's different. It's maybe a little bit different for us because we know people from out of town now and we see other creators and we have friends from California that are like super cool, dude, California, right?
Well, the first year we went, we didn't have any of that.
And it was still so goddamn fun, right?
Yeah, we made friends. It's those big events are great because everybody's there for the same reason. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you play Magic, you big fucking nerd. Nobody's going to say that, right? Like, you're in a place where everybody's there to do the same thing.
I do make fun of people for playing Magic because they're big nerds.
Oh, I do too, all the time.
Yeah, that's great. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
You Magic playing goddamn nerd. Of course you want to play Urza, you nerd.
Yeah, I like making fun of people for being nerds about other stuff. Because I play Magic. It's
next level.
You play D&D? Or are you a nerd?
It's great.
It's fun. It's great to be with like-minded people who all are going towards the same thing inevitably, which is to have fun doing something that you like. And I think that's the best part for me of going to those events.
Yeah, we also all hate money. So we just want to like give it away.
Yeah, our absolute hatred of currency also very much helps the... Money is the root of all evil, and Magic players are in a hurry to the bottom to just get rid of all the money that they have. So inevitably, we all become great people.
Yeah, and you know what? To just meet strangers and have them be friends, and the stories of how we met, like this. One of my fondest memories from Vegas last year was when I met Lenny, and he's our friend, he's our patron. We're sharing CCO house with him again.
Happy birthday to Lenny. He had a birthday a couple of days ago.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to the dude bro-in-law.
And F.U. Evan as well.
F that guy.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Go back to managing our Discord, nerd.
Yeah, what are you managing Discord, you nerd? Oh, man. We are so terrible for shaming this episode.
We're the best. It's all in good fun. Everybody knows that we're all friends here.
My story of meeting Lenny when the owner of EDH Rec was like, yeah, this guy was like, he knew who I was because you guys were like making fun of me on your show. Oh, man, it's so funny. Every time I think of that story, it was just the best. So that's the kind of stories that you just get, like the inside jokes and the traveling, and it's just fun. It's just great.
Speaking of Vegas, we've booked our plane tickets, our flights down there. We're all confirmed, and you, me, and Joel, I believe.
Yes, I don't know if Joel's plane tickets are booked. Probably they are, but if he wants to book last minute, he's made out of money anyways. So
yeah, like we've talked about this lots on the show. You hold him upside down by his ankles and just shake him, just money comes out.
You unzip like his arm, like Mr. Oogie Boogie, and instead of bugs being his insides, it's just money.
Yeah, I don't understand how that works, but his circulatory system is full of coins. I don't know how that works.
It's liquid gold.
Yeah, it's the weirdest
thing. Cut him and he bleeds gold.
Somebody just stabbed Joel in Vegas.
No.
Thanks, guys.
No, don't.
Please, nobody stab Joel if you see him. He's a nice man.
We are booked, though. We are booked. Plane tickets. We got CCO house, walking distance to, I'm told, walking distance to the Strip, the Convention Center, and a block away from a corner liquor store.
I love those corner liquor stores. We don't have those really in Saskatchewan. So.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Let me tell you, if there's ever a Magic Fest at Edmonton,
oh baby,
every second house on the corner, even in residential streets, is fucking liquor store.
It's a liquor store and a XXX adult bookstore,
and then a house, and then another liquor store, and then a house, then a liquor store. Yeah, that's how it works.
And then every 4 blocks is one of those shifty massage parlors.
Oh yeah, shout out to Edmonton. I know we got lots of listeners there.
Yeah, I love that town actually. I love Edmonton.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
Not because of all the hookers and beer, but like because it's.
I mean, that doesn't hurt though.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt the rep.
Yeah, for sure. So we're booked for Vegas. We're trying to decide what packages that we want to buy. Do we want the Commander VIP area? That's what I've decided I'm calling it.
Isn't that what it's called?
The Commander VIP area. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
The Commander Fanatic package is the other thing, and we can get a discount on that should we go to the Commander VIP area. So we're just trying to decide how many games we want to play and where we want to do it. We just want to meet people, and we just want to hang out with CCO Nation because we know lots of people are going to be going.
We want to play games with you guys, and how we do that is kind of the sticking point that we find ourselves at right now.
Yeah, and the other thing too is there's just like this Commander party, and a few years ago there's a Commander party, and there's now another Commander party, and it's like 9 p.m. on Friday. Oh shit, we got a wedding to go to.
Yeah, dude,
we have got a wedding to go to right at the venue. So if you are listening and you're going to be in GP Vegas, Magic Fest Vegas, MF in Vegas,
Vegas,
there it is. Wedding, patron of the show, Rebecca Hindlick. That's her nickname. We're sticking with it.
Rebenda Dick Hindlick.
Oh, you're Rebenda Dick Hindlick.
Yeah.
Man, double. For sure. She's getting married Friday at noon right at the venue.
That is excellent.
So if you're a CCO Nationalite, you have to be there. If you're a content creator and you're listening to us, show up. I've already confirmed you as a guest because she needed like a certain number of guests to like be approved. So
she's an approved person, guys. Like
very much
we're
so.
not even approved people, so let's go and be a part of that.
Very much so. And if you're a cosplayer or no cosplayers, invite them for photo opportunities because, to my knowledge, there's only one wedding a year in Vegas at the Magic Fest, and this is it.
And it's your opportunity to be a part of something super cool, and it's two people's like best day of their lives. So we
Very
should all
much
make an
so.
effort to make it special for them.
Yeah, I got commissioned to do a wedding piece, like an altered art wedding piece, like a commission.
It's gonna be awesome.
It is going to be awesome. The last one I did turned out very excellent. This one will follow suit. I guarantee it.
Maybe I should also do a wedding altar
I think so.
to show off my.
Especially now that you got them silver and gold Sharpies. Very much so. I'm so excited. It's going to be so fun. And whatever packages we end up getting, whatever foil or non-foil Sol rings we end up getting, I'll be happy regardless because it's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, we're going to be there to have fun with all of you guys, meet some new people, see some new faces, and just jam games of Commander, which at the end of the day, after everything that we've said today, is really what we all picked up this game to do. Meet people and play games of Magic.
That's all I got. What else you got? We're going to run through the giveaway one more time?
Let's do the giveaway one more time. If you leave us a 5-star review over at Apple Podcast, whatever the hell they're calling it now.
That's what we're calling it.
Wherever you get your better podcasts, leave us a nice review and a good comment. You'll get entered into winning.
And a 700-star rating.
Yes, the more stars, the more entries you get.
700. Just make a bunch of faux accounts and just do the right thing.
You can win Kess. It's going to be great. You can also get entered to win Kess by heading over to our YouTube channel, CCOPodcast. Giving the Cleveland Steamer to the like button there will get you entered as well. If you want that $25 credit from face-to-facegames.com, you head over there. Let them know Brian and Rando. There they are again.
DDO Podcast.
Ryan and Brando sent you. Leave a comment on one of our episodes, or if you happen to make an order, start a new account, send them a comment. They appreciate it, and so do we. Thank you very much for everybody who's already done that.
Very much so.
Also remember to check out our Facebook pages and the official CCO account on Twitter. Likes and follows there. Once we hit 1,000 on those platforms, we will release merch. The floodgates of merch will open. And
the merch gates.
The merch. We should make masks. Merch-Cadian masks.
Oh, I was trying to think of one too. Damn it. God. That's Japanese Goku. That's who that was.
I broke him. All right. So that's what we got. Check us out on social media. Thank you very much for being here. We'll hope to see you out in the wild and see that all of our tips helped you out.
Yeah, no lying to me if you're playing Urza. It's accidentally broken. Just give it to me straight. I'm a grown-ass man.
Yeah, if you're playing something degenerate, just tell us. We can take it.
Yeah, then we'll do something degenerate back.
Yeah, let's just do that.
That's the name of the game. I already said that I like CDH. We're going to talk a little bit about it next week. No pre-show next week. We wanted to make sure that everybody and patrons knew that. We aren't even standing up in between recording sessions.
Yeah.
Because I have a wedding next week.
So that means I have a week off of editing podcasts, which is fun.
Hey.
Hoo-hoo, everybody wins next week. And we're going to see you next week, next Tuesday, for another episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!
Don't lie to me. Wear deodorant.
Boof!